Good morning, students. I hope you all are fine. We are starting with new exercise, that is exercise 6E, inverse proportion. Before starting it, let's look at it. What is inverse proportion? In the previous lecture, we did direct proportion and now we are doing inverse proportion. So let's see what is inverse proportion. Inverse proportion, the name itself is saying that it is inverse, means opposite. If one quantity increases, the other decreases and vice versa, then it is said to be inversely proportional. Now please kindly recall what was directly proportional. In direct proportion, we learned that both the quantities increases on the same pace. Means if one quantity is increasing, the other is also increasing. If one quantity is decreasing, the other is also decreasing. And that's what was called direct proportion. Now in this we are learning that if one quantity is increasing, the other will not increase, it will decrease. And if one is decreasing, the other will increase, means opposite. Okay, so that is called inverse proportion. Now what are the examples of inverse proportion? Inverse proportion, there are some real life examples. If I am traveling at a speed of 6 meter per hour, okay, this is an example. If I am moving in a 6 meter per hour, I will take to reach my destination 2 hours. If I suddenly increase my speed and I make it 120 meters per hour, I will reach to the destination in 1 hour. Okay, with 60 meter per hour, I was taking how much time? 2 hours to reach my destination. And as I increase my speed, the time to reach at my destination reduced. This is called inverse proportion. When one increases, the other decreases. Now second example, increase in number of workers, less time taken to do the tasks. For instance, I asked few students to make the decoration of the board, okay, to do the decoration of the soft board. There were 2 students who were doing this work, and it was taking half hour to do that work. I said, now you have only 15 minutes to do that work. Definitely now 2 students will not be enough to do the same work. I will require more students to do the work. So now I need 4 students to do the same softboard decoration in 15 minutes. Okay, so what is happening over here? When I increase the number of students, the time taken to do the same work reduced. Okay, so this is also called inverse proportion. Now I am doing exercise. Okay, now let's look at first question. If 360 workers can paint a shopping mall in 96 days, how many days will 450 workers need? Now first look at the question carefully. Okay, now one more thing, that we are looking inverse proportion separately, but in exams I will not give you the question separately. So you should know when it is inverse proportion and when it is direct proportion. So make your concepts clear, try to understand the question well. Okay, it's saying if 360 workers can paint a shopping mall in 96 days. That's how you will write. 360 workers are doing the work which is painting a shopping mall in 96 days. So what they are saying further, how many days will 450 workers need? How many days? X I will write, 450 workers will need. Now let's understand the question first. What they are doing the work, painting a shopping mall, right? 360 workers were doing this work in 96 days. When the workers are increased, now what do you think? Same 96 days will be required to paint the shopping mall? Definitely not. When more workers are doing the work, when number of workers increased, definitely days will reduce. How much it reduced, that we have to calculate. But here we come to know that it will definitely reduce, because from 360 we are having now 450 workers. So definitely from 96 days the days will reduce and we have to calculate that number of days. Okay, now here you have to look carefully. I had made upside arrow, here I made downside arrow. Upside means the number of worker is increasing, it is going on top, and downside means that days will be reduced. Now again, one thing I want you to recall, that in direct proportion we always make the arrows on the same side. If it was increasing, we make it up. If it was decreasing, we make it down. But here one arrow will always be up and other will always be down, or the opposite side. If this is down, this will be up. Okay, this is called inverse proportion, and that shows that these workers and days are inversely proportional to each other. Okay, now I am making the sum. Now other thing which you have to remember, students, is that when you are writing the sum, when you are making the sum for inverse proportion, there also you have to be careful. First one, whether it is with x or whether it is without x, whatever you are writing, you will write upside down. Means the down value you will write first and the first value you will write second. For instance, I will write 450 is to 360. Now I want you to again recall, when we were doing direct proportion, we used to write upside and down. Means the first value first and second value second. But here in inverse proportion, for the first one you are comparing only for the first one, jo bhi likha hai, okay, for the first one you are comparing, this second term you will write first and first you will write second. Then you will make the proportion 4 dots. Now this you will write in order. 96 is written first, you will write first. X is written afterward, you will write afterwards. It means you will only make changes in the first thing. Second thing will not require any change. Now this is all same. This is extreme, first to fourth. This is mean, second to third. Okay, now same formula you will write, same way you will write, first multiplied by fourth term, second multiplied by third term, same thing. X will remain here only, 360 multiplied by 96 upon 450. Now you will solve it. 0 cancels from 0. Now I am solving from 9 times table. 9 5s are and 9 4s are 36. Now x is equals to, okay, when you multiply 4 by 96, you get 384 divided by 5, you will get, divide in rougher column and you will get 76.8, and that's how you will write the statement. 76.8 days will be required to do work by 450 workers. Now I am doing the second question.